don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and
Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Hope the videos are helping you in designing and customization process. If they are, please go ahead and hit that subscription, tap on that notification bell, leave me a comment. Please, by all means, take 5 seconds, drop a comment, good or bad, doesn't matter. Hit like and share the content. And also, if you'd like to donate some coffee to the cause, down around here, there's a super thanks button. You can hit that and donate some coffee to the cause. We're going to continue a little bit more on the customization. I think this might be, well, we might go into some of the preferences later, but customization. And what we're going to talk about is the context menu tab, right? And this will help design. But there's some things that you probably need to be aware of or know before you start using the context menu, like how to add things, subtract things, move them, up, down, all, you know, or customizing it, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. And when we do this, we're going to go ahead and design something using the context menu, because I think it's probably just, it's easy to show where and when and how you want to add things in. But this is... like if you're working on full screen mode, the context menu is a very nice one to have out there. Makes it very easy to be able to use your entire screen for the designing process and viewing and everything. So we're going to do something like that. I hope hope this is the right way to do it. So what we want to do first is we're just going to go ahead and switch to our secondary, and we showed how to set up different viewports and save them and everything in an earlier video. So go back and check those out if there's a way, if you're wanting to learn how to set up everything. Also, we learned how to split and organize and save those for your defaults in earlier videos, so check those out. Now the context menu can be, and what we're going to do is we're going to leave the tab up here as we design, because when you first start, you may not really know all the commands and the command that code that we're going to need to be able to use in the context menu, and this will help in some respects. Not all, but the majority of them it should. So we're just going to leave this out here. We're going to try not to use it unless we need to find something, a command that we don't know or something like that, to add it to our context menu. Now our context menu will be found in two very quick places. One right down here, you can just click on that tab there and it will bring up your context menu, and you can drag it anywhere you want. F6, yeah, F6 will also bring up the context menu, so you can hit F6 on your keyboard to bring that up. And then also just clicking on your middle mouse button will also bring up. So you have three ways there, very quick ways to bring it up. So really the clicking on the middle mouse button is probably one of the easiest ways to do it, or just going down here. And those keyboard users, you can just hit F6 to bring it up, right? So that's how to bring it up. Now what we're going to, let's go ahead and bring it up actually, and we're going to place it kind of high up in this area, not to hide any of our commands, but up in this area, because sometimes it's going to list quite a few commands and we don't want our command box or our context box not showing all our options. We want to try and see as many as possible as we're using it. And the way we have this one set up is we have in our previous videos, we showed how to set up this and kind of put everything that you might need in there. And as you can see, my display modes, I really got rid of a lot because I don't use very many. These are kind of the ones I use the most. So I just went and organized those. And really all you have to do here is go to your cogwheel, click on the ones you want and turn off the ones you don't want, and you're good to go. So you can add or subtract any in there that you want. The next thing we're going to do in order to set it up to get the most out of it, if we're designing in like a full screen or something, is we're going to go ahead and take this dynamic command box, and we're just going to go ahead and drag it out over here to this side and extend it down just a little, right? So this is how we're going to, excuse me, how we're going to operate off of this one here. Right now we have several tabs here, like this one's all set up with your clay. I think that's the defaults in there. This one you can customize yourself. This one, you know, to me it looks like it might be surfacing or something, but those commands really don't really go with working with surfacing too much. And then this one you could set up for gems, anything on gems. This one you could set up for lines, which looks like it already is for the most part. There are some that I added in perhaps that are a little different than yours already, but maybe because there's really no way to reset these defaults unless you go back and reset everything to default, I believe. Maybe there is. Let's see, wrong one. Let's go to this cogwheel and go to rhinoceros. No, troubleshooting. You could probably reset user interface. Oh, reset context menu. Okay, so you can reset it at any time from here. So if you want, let's just go ahead and do that. Actually, let's go ahead and you can see some of them dropped off. It changed it. So now we're reset to defaults. So I can kind of show you how to, which now I have to go back and redo it. And I just spent a lot of time earlier going through and organizing it. Okay, so what we have, there's one here particular, Raster Victor. I really don't use very often at all, and if I do, I could just use it from my toolbar. So really, I'm just going to save space and to kind of organize things a little bit, because I like to group the colors together. And once you use MatrixGold or a lot, you'll just automatically know what all the colors are. So it's very easy to come over here and try and find your command. Another thing I like to do is put the parametric commands or dynamic commands to the top of whatever list. Like you can see, all these are tools. In the tools ribbon, gems, and then we'll probably add some in there, and then curves, solids, and menu, right? So I'm going to get rid of this one here right away. So I'll just go ahead and click on my cogwheel, and it brings up my menu here, right, for the context menu for this specific one, right? And it's going to change, and I'll show you what I mean as we go forward. So right here we have raster to vector, and so I find raster to vector. I'm just going to go over here and click on it so it's highlighted, and I'm going to come down here and just hit negative, the negative button, bing, and it's gone, right? So now I can close it out. You have to hit save, and now it's gone, and it keeps that space in there, and it groups all those together, so I have everything grouped together, right? So this is how oh, that's the wrong menu anyway. This is the one I want to start with, and this one is already set up for the most part by default, color-coded, parametric at top. You can use just all parametric at top, but to me it's just easy because I know if I have tools in there and solids and surfaces and everything mixed up, and some of them are they're all parametric. I don't know, it's just to me easier to set it up by color coding. And what I mean by that, let's go back. Let's start to design something. How's that? Our first design for this series. And we're not going to design anything totally crazy, just kind of simple, but we're going to be adding and subtracting and moving things around in here to set it up. And this is the best way to set it up. Use it, because you'll start to see when you're designing something what commands you need when, right? Or what commands you will probably use when you're designing, so you can add them in as you go. So if you're using the context menu and you really want to use it and set it up, the best way is use it and then add them in as you're designing. So, I use this one quite a bit for when I pick this or when I'm doing something like this, and then add it in at that point. Okay, so first let's go to ring rail. And you can see our dynamic commands over here pop up. So we just got that. Okay, and I did not do something, so I'm going to middle mouse click, and then I'm going to pin it so that doesn't click off every time when I select a command. Otherwise, it would you'd have to keep going back and picking, hitting middle mouse button or F6 or down here to bring it back. So now you'll notice the context menu, I have nothing selected, but once I select this, it changes to give me all kind of other options, right? And you can see this is not color coded. We have menu, we have transform, we have menu, we have curves, we have transform, and we have curves, surface, solids, and gem. So everything's all kind of mixed up. So the first thing I want to do when going through here is I want to rearrange this a little bit, right? And it looks like all the tools, this edit is really cool. Now, okay, if I select here, you have to go over here to hit edit, right? And then you can edit it. I'm going to right click, close that out. If I select here and then I hit edit, it automatically will bring that edit point up. So I don't have to go searching back, and hopefully we'll be able to show this off and how really cool that command is in a little bit. And if you need to know, maybe there's a command line you don't know and it won't show us by clicking on the command here. We can always type it in, right? But we'll get to all that. So let's click here, and then let's just go ahead and add a gem on ring rail, and we'll just go ahead and accept that. Now I'm going to go back here and click, and I want to reorganize this. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my cogwheel, and I can see where everything's kind of lined up. So this gem command right here, and then I have gems down here with two tools in the middle. I'm going to try and move that one down. So I'm going to select this one, and then I'm going to my two arrow buttons, right? So I'm just going to drop that down. It's down, down. So now I have the three gem commands and the three tool commands, right? So I have tools, gems, 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 none, which is just a space. MSRs, that's a solid. This is a surface. Surface is the only one out there. I like to have spaces between my categories, so I'm going to go ahead and click here, and then I'm going to add one in, right? So I added one in. It'll put it down here. There's a space, but I want the space here, so I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to move it up so that I have a space there. Then I have a space here. Curves, curves, none. Curves, none. Curves, none. Transform, none. Curves, none. Menu, and then I have this transform bend. Bend at this point with a line, clicking on a line, probably not going to use, so I'm just going to click it and just get rid of it for right now. And it's not even a parametric bend, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this one here, so negative, and it disappears, right? And then I have none and menu. So I'll just hit save, and you can see it updates. Now if I want a space in there, because I like to keep things separate. Like I said, I'm just going to go back again and click on it and find that profile placer in that gem. So find the profile placer right here, click on it, and I'll add one in, and it'll just give me a none there. And then I need to click on it and then move it up one, right? So now I have space between the tools and the gems, and I'm just going to hit save. So now when I click on a line, any kind of line, so if I click on this one, I get these tools. If I click on this, I get pretty much the same menu. And one other thing I want to point out really quick that's just really cool is if I select anything, it tells me what it is right here. So it's like having the properties box telling you what everything is. If I select everything, it's telling me everything I chose. So I have one closed planar curve, which is the ring rail. I have one gem, and I have an open planar curve right here. So it tells you everything. So it's like clicking on your properties box to find out something. So if this was a closed surface or a surface, I got rid of that by hitting delete. If I wanted to know things very quickly, I don't have to open up my properties box. It automatically tells me whatever I selected right down here. So it's really cool to have that, not having to go back to your properties all the time. Okay, so we have this set up. Now let's select our gem, and we have our gem guides here, and you can see this one's pretty much set up pretty good, except we have Clayu bezel here. If I'm going to use Clayu, I can just go to the Clayu menu. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one at this point to find my Clayu. It's probably listed. It's not even listed as Clayu. Yeah, it is right here. Clayu bezel. So I'm going to select on that, and I'm going to delete that. I don't really need that, and I have a none right there. So I have my space. I'm going to hit save, and I have everything categorized out, right? And all these are pretty much parametric, which is cool. Okay, but you can add things into, and we'll get to that in a second. So let's see. I got my gem selected. I'm going to go ahead and do gem guides, right? And just to show that edit thing, well, I guess we'll just keep on going and designing here. So let's bring this up something around here, and then let's go ahead and drag that. Let's drag it in. Excuse me. We'll just keep it right pretty close on the edge there. We can always manipulate this later though, so we're just going to go ahead and accept that. Right click on it, right? It's to accept those gem guides, right? Now, if I select these gem guides and I do want to go back and edit, I can come over here and hit edit, or I can just hit that edit right there, right? So we have this. Now I want to do a blend from one of these gem guides. Well, actually I do want to edit these. So I'm going to click on those, and then I'm going to come over here and just click here. I want them in the north, south, east direction, and I'm going to accept that, right? Now I want to blend. So I don't have blend in here without selecting anything. Let's see if I have it when I select a curve. So blend is in the I want parametric blend, right? So this is, if I select this, I get all this, and you can see they're kind of all jumbled up. So I kind of already showed how to kind of go back and organize it. Like MS object, I really don't think that's one that I need in there at this point here. I would rather have that maybe when I clicked on certain other things. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to put spaces in here and kind of organize. I got to bend down here again, away from all the tools. So each time you select on things, it's going to give you, depending on what you select, it's going to give you different options over here, what it thinks that you're going to use the most of or whatever. So let's go in here and let's do a little bit of editing. Okay, profile placer. So right here, I'm just going to click on this one, highlight it. I'm going to add one in. And then this one I'm going to move up. So now I have a space between my tools and gems. Do I have any more tools in there? No, I do not. So now I have gems there, none. Surface, none. And then solids. Do I have any solids in there? I don't believe so. The only ones I think that I need to, the MSR objects, this one, I don't think I need at this point, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. And we have the offsets, scale. I could move those down, probably bend. Let's see, that bend command. It's a transform, and there's another transform bend. Like I said, I don't think, first of all, I wouldn't want to use bend without using parametric on most things. So if I was going to add bend in here, I would add it as a parametric. So I'm just going to take that one and delete it. And let's see what this looks like here. Now you can see we got it a little bit more organized. We have these right in here, which, I mean, those are okay. When you select on curves, a lot of time you do want to divide, rebuild, and fit. So I want to keep that. Kind of okay. I mean, it's acceptable. Everything is listed at the top as parametric. Usually what I do is if there's parametric I want in here, like the offset or something, I would go ahead and add it to the top of each category, right? But we'll just keep on designing, and you know how to organize it, so I'm not going to keep going back on that, all right? So I do want blend curves, right? So I'm going to click on here and check, see if I have blend curves, and I do not have blend curves. But if this is the reason why we keep the ribbon bar open until we get this all organized, or if you don't know I know the command, but I don't want to, just throw it out there real quick. What we'll do is we'll click on this. It'll show you the command name, and then I'll just right click off of it to close it. So I didn't use it. I just got it out there, right? So now when I select this one, I can go in here and I want to add that so it's in a curve and it's going to be parametric, right? So I'm going to hit my cogwheel and it's a curve and it's going to be parametric. So I want to set it up right up here above my offset, right? So here's my offset. I'm going to click here. I'm going to add one so I keep that space. I'm going to click back in here. I'm going to type in here for the first part is blend curves, or yeah. I'm going to type blend curves, and then I'm just going to click it off right now. Well, first I'll hit save. It added it, but you can't see it because the command's not in there. So now over here, I'm going to scroll down that blend curve command right here, blend curve. I'm going to highlight it. So the command is _GV, and that's all parametric command, _GV, and then the normal name. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to open this back up. And okay, it did not keep the blend curve. So what I'll do is I have to retype it. So blend curves, and then over here I'm going to click, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to just paste that command in, and I'm going to hit save. Now I have it over here, and you can see it's a parametric command, right? I want this, not that one, this one. So here it is now, but I did not color code it correctly. It's coded under menu, so I should probably take care of that. So let's go ahead back to our cogwheel and that blend curves. So here I'm going to go ahead and click on none, and then come down and find curves, and there it is, and then hit save, and now it changes it to the proper color coding, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And then it's going to activate the command, select second curve. So I already have this one selected. So now when I select the second curve, it will complete the command, and I can have my handles, because it's parametric, I can be moving things around, right? So right here, my second point, I want to flip that one, my second one, to the other direction. My first one looks like it's okay. And this I'm just going to take, and if I hold down shift, it'll lock it to my 2.5, you know, wherever you want it. This one I'm going to click right in there, I guess. Let's go to all perspectives. It makes it easier. And then I want to drag this one down, I don't know, something like this, so that it'll come down and move around, right? Kind of like a cathedral type setting. All right, so, and then I'll just right click off that. And of course my command, my ring rail disappeared, but we know in Matrix 10 that it dumps everything. First of all, where's my layers? I do not have my layers here. So I'm going to go ahead up to my view and view layers, just turn on layers. So my layers are in here now, and then right click, well, they're in there, right? So now I can click on layer, scroll down here, this is it. And there, if I turn it on, oh, it's hidden. It's not shown. So that's the layer it'll probably be on. Oh, maybe not. Show. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's for other things. It'll tell you when it dumps things in there. It'll give you a pop-up box when it dumps certain things in there. So right now we have that set, right? There is one other thing. I need to maybe do a trim section so I can keep it all parametric, right? So if I click on here, you know, I got up my line selected, and it doesn't say trim anywhere, right? And I want parametric trim anyway. So let's see, select a ring rail. See, you can see that there's differences between selecting a gym guide. It gives you those commands, and selecting, well, pretty cool. Yeah, it's the same, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so I got me a curve. There's no trim in here, right? So depending on where you want to put it in, maybe you want to go ahead and just put it in here, right? So that is a curve, you know, before you click on it, right? But you got to remember that if you put it in before, you'll have to, when you activate it, then you have to move the command, whereas if you just hit it, it'll automate, and it's highlighted. So putting it in at certain points is just remember where you put it in and how you have to use it from there. So let's go trim and GV trim curves, right? Because it's a parametric command, GV trim, so it's right here. So let's go ahead and open up this box. So we'll just add it in here, right here. I'll go ahead and click on that one. We'll go add. We'll change this to a curves. We'll change this to trim curves. Trim curve or trim curves? Just one curve, I guess. And we'll have to activate. Now I'll have to type it in. So let's just close that out. I want to select this, right click, copy, go over here, trim curves right there, right click, paste. So now it's in there, save. So now I have my trim curve right in that spot. So if I select something, my trim curves is going to go away. So while I don't have something selected, I'll select it now, and then it say select my curve, and that's going to be my ring rail, right? And I'm going to take this up. I'm going to activate symmetry, mirror. So both sides will be moved with the one, right? And I am going to bring it as close to this without touching. I don't want them to touch, okay? Because I want to keep parametric command, right? Parametric command. So I'll just go ahead and right click to accept that. Now select on this, and you can see I don't have mirror, and I don't have mirror with nothing selected. So where do I want to select mirror? Do I want it where after I select something, or do I want it in here? This is a much smaller window, so I think we'll just go ahead and add it in here, and we'll add it just below the text. So we'll go in here, click on, well, before we do that, let's go and transform, parametric mirror. There's the command, underscore GV mirror. Let's go over here, click on our cogwheel, and I want to add it right below the gems. So I'll go ahead and click here. I'll add one. Then I'll come down to this one here, change it to transform right here. Come in here, type in mirror, and then come over here, right click, paste, GV. Oh, that's my trim. So underscore GV capital mirror, and then hit save. All right, so there it is. So now what I can do is I can select this, and I can select this, and then right click, and it'll select it over to the other side, right? And that's all mirrored. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is, even though I have that gap in there for right now, because it's tied to that stone, if I go into my ring rail, well, edit, and I change it to a size 10, you can see it updates. Everything will update. Let's take it down to a size 4. It's still updating with everything, right? So now we'll take this, turn it back to a 7 for right now, and we'll right click to click it off, right? But we still have this issue right here, right? We need to close that off, right? So the best way to do that would be a blend, right? And we don't have parametric blend. And if I select a curve, we have blend curves right here. I don't know if I added that in before, if it was there, but this is, we know how to add it in now. So I'm just going to parametric blend, and I'm going to go here and here. Well, shut them up just a minute. Select my curve. And that is what I want, right? Yes, blend curves. Oh, okay, because I have one selected, I don't select the same one. It's a little bit different way of doing it, right? So blend curve is say select second curve right there, right? And of course it puts it up here at the top, so I'll just drag it down, and then I'll come in here, and we need to switch some of those around. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, that should be correct. and I'll accept that. All right, and it got rid of that. Turn our ring rail back on. Show, and then our blend, our trim curve. Show. Oh, that's that one. That's awful big piece there. I don't think that's it. Trim curve. Let's get rid of, hide that. Let's come down here, turn this on. Blend curve. Show. Yeah, blend curve. Okay, now let's go ahead and hide that ring rail. Trim curve we want on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that little piece right there. So I'm just going to highlight it by going to the right to left, not the left to right. When I drag it from left to or right to left, it'll select everything. And when I drag it right to left to right, it'll only select that one little piece. And then we want to keep everything parametric, right? So let's just do a mirror, select that, right click, and now it's over here. Okay, so now we have this in 1, and this little piece right here 2, and then that piece there 3, and the same thing on the other side, right? Okay, so now what we can do is we can select all that, and I'm dragging from right to left, just selecting those curves, right? And we want tools parametric join, right? So let's see. You can check out the others, but we'll just operate off this one. And tools parametric join is not in there. So what we're going to do, usually I select everything I want to join first. It just depends on how you do it. Or you could put it in where, you know, there, oh, I want a space there too. You can put it in before you select it. So depending on your designing preference or where you want it to pop up at, we'll go ahead and just select everything at this point. And we need to move that one. So let's go ahead and first we'll move things around to get it a little bit more organized. We want a space between edit, space, and then we want to move that up so that we have that space there. Surface none, curve, solid, MSR, SMS. See, I don't see why we need that one. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that one and get rid of it for right now. Then we have all our curves, none, transform, none, surface, no other surfaces out there. That's surface view. Oh, surface view, okay. And we have some surface and splits down here in trim. Well, split and trim should be split with iso. These two should be pretty much close together. So that's this one. So let's go ahead and take this one and we'll move that up. So we have those two together, and then let's take this one and move it down. So now we have a space there. Let's see what this looks like. Save. So now we have everything spaced out correctly. Now we need to add that trim in there, and that is a tools. So let's go ahead and just, before I select anything, because we just want to find out the command line. Here and parametric join, it's underscore GB join. Underscore GB join. They're all underscore GB and then the command, right? So we'll come over here and we'll add that in. Well, before we do that, do you want to add it in here or do you want to add it in here? I'm going to go ahead and add it in here. So we'll go ahead and select it right here. I'm going to select, and then I'm going to add one in. And then I'm going to take this one and change it to tools. Take this one, join, and then change the command line, underscore GV, capital JOIN. All right. And then hit save, right? So now when I select all those curves, I have it pop up, and then I just right click. And they're all joined together, and we can say one open planar curve. So it's one planar open curve, right? And I still have my ring rail out there, so don't forget that's still there. Show, right? And that'll be vital as we move later on, right? So we still have that, and this is all parametric. So if I edit anything in here, take it up to a size 10, everything changes with it, right? Let's put it back to a size 7. There we go. Okay. And I'll just accept all that. Now we want to start getting our design together. Okay. Like I said, it's not going to be anything spectacular. Don't get excited. So I'm going to select that rail, and I have profile placer right here. I'm going to put a profile plate, go back to all views so I can see everything. I'm going to hold down shift and bring it around so that it's in this direction here. And I am going to, let's change that to a little bit different. You could keep it as that is if you wanted. Whatever, change it to whatever profile or just adjust it from there. And we'll just go with something like this. And we'll go ahead and accept that, but we'll go back to our gem curve or guides, and I'm going to go ahead and hit edit, which automatically pops up over here. And that way I can go ahead and adjust it without going over here at all. So I'm going to bring that in just a little something, maybe a little bit more, so we get a nice, what I'm trying to do is make sure when we cut this channel it's going to hold together okay. So that's about good right there. All right, so now I have that. All right, so now we can go ahead and maybe do a sweep. We don't have a sweep here, but if I select a ring rail, do we have sweep? We have sweep 1. You could add sweep 2 in there too. Sweep 1 from that rail to this, and we'll just go do a sweep. And we have a cap over here, but we don't have one over there. So maybe you want to select that, go to edit, and we can go to mirror right here, and it will put it on the other side, and we'll switch, turn off rotate mirror so that it's on the opposite. It's facing exactly like that one, right? And we could add another one, holding down shift right down here at the bottom. And this one we want to rotate so that it's facing straight down. And this one we're going to change. We'll take it and we'll just put it to this thing here, just for fun. Yeah. And then I'm going to go back to the top here. Let's click on that white dot there, the position. And do I want it wider or smaller? Maybe a little wider just for fun. And that looks good. And we'll go ahead and take that. Now we'll select that rail, go to our sweep 1, select this profile, this profile, this profile, hit enter, and it gives us that. Let's go ahead down here to our display modes and give it some shading so we can kind of see what we got out here, right? So there you go. There's that. All right. And I'll right click to accept it. Kind of a channel set, cathedral type ring. Now we're going to select our gem, and right over here we have head, bezel, halo, under bezel. We'll click there, and it is parametric, so we'll be able to update it anything we want. First thing I want to do is go to that dome. I'm not a big domey person. I'm going to thin that dome down a little, make it a little thinner there, or smaller. Something like that. I think the height's okay, but we can position it down or up a little bit. You can hide layers. You could go in here and hide your gemstones so you can get a little bit better look at. However, we're just going to go say, hey, this is cool, to move things along, right? And we got it accepted, right? Now we, I don't know, I guess you could have something like that. You could do some kind of crazy stuffs by coming out here and going in, but we're not going to get into all that. Like I said, it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to go ahead back to our ring rail, turn it on. So we're going to show, and now we can select that one, and we can go to sweep 1 and add a profile in there. Click here. Oh, not sweep 1, profile placer, sorry. And then we'll go to all viewports, maybe give it a ghost or a wireframe so we can kind of see things. I'm going to move it over to here. I'm going to go ahead and change that profile. We're going to go to something like this, and I don't need it that tall, maybe a 1.5 millimeter. And then I'll go ahead and mirror that over to the other side. so that we have the 2 there, and that looks okay, I think. Oh, maybe we want to make it a little thinner. We don't need it 4 millimeters, maybe 3. 3 is fine. I mean, personal preference. I'll go ahead and right click. I'm going to click on the rail, and we still have sweep 1 here. So I'm going to highlight this one here and highlight this one over here, and then right click, and it's going the wrong direction. So we'll just hit flip, and it flips it around, and it's closed off, and I can click on it. So I can, instead of going to my properties down here, I can just close poly surface, gem, close poly surface. So I can very quickly get everything laid out, right? So I have something like this. Now you can put gemstones in there and all that. We're not going to go and do all that kind of stuff, but you can put channel set stones, princess cuts, rounds. I mean, just really spruce it up however you want. But that's kind of how you use the context menu. And again, if you're doing some kind of a drawing with a lot of curves, maybe you want to use this. And you can always go back to these commands too. Or if you're working with a lot of gems, maybe you want to go ahead and use this and add things in at this point. So you can kind of customize all these, and then you have your personal there as well to get the most out of your context menu. So I hope the video helps. And just kind of showing, but it's still, everything's still parametric. So if we go to our ring rail and go to edit and change it to a size 10, it automatically updates for us, so we can really get whatever size we want. You could add your cutters in there, just go crazy with it, right? And this is kind of our very first, again, very easy design, and we're going to get into a lot more complicated things, we'll keep moving forward and hopefully showing different things about the program. So stay tuned, keep checking back on the channel, hit like, hit don't like, leave me a comment, a nice comment, bad comment, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Anything, maybe advice to show different things off, shorten things down. Maybe this was too long, just needed to show how to explain it, where to move everything, up to you. So thank you and good designing.